Welcome to Javier's definitive list of the games that he played in 2020. I know it's the video you've all been waiting for. I had an amazing year of gaming last year, and to be honest with you, without these games that completely took over my imagination and attention, it would have been a much harder year. Now, these games didn't necessarily come out last year. In fact, most of them didn't. I had a great year in gaming nonetheless, and I wanted to let you know about all the great games that got me through 2020, which was probably the worst year ever. Without much further ado, here are my best games that I played in 2020. First up, let's start with our game of the year, Final Fantasy VII Remake. I've spoken about this game to death, so I'm not going to talk about it for very long. I just want to say and reiterate that I did have my concerns before playing, and it wasn't until I played the demo at EGX, yes Javier, we all know where you went to last EGX that actually was available, that I was really sold. As soon as I played the demo and I'd seen how they'd enhanced the combat from Final Fantasy 15, I knew I was fully in. This game took me over like nothing else, and it is something I've said before, and it was something that was featured on our Games of the Year list, but I just want to really reiterate the fact that it completely took me over, it consumed me, unlike any game I played probably since Dark Souls 1. Seriously, I haven't played this game yet, get on it. Even if you're an old Final Fantasy fan, you think you won't like it, you're probably going to be wrong, because the changes they made were perfect. After talking about Dark Souls, I might as well go on to Dark Souls 3. I've spent a lot of time playing Dark Souls 3 in 2020, by myself and online, mostly online. I've been playing a lot with our fellow respawner Luke and our guest star Z, and to be honest with you, it's just something I'd rather play than playing the same map on Call of Duty over and over again. Getting through Dark Souls 3 and currently on a DLC, don't forget to check out the streams, it's really brought a new light to gaming in a way. These games, which are incredibly hard, are so fun in co-op, and I really can't explain to you the amount of joy it brings me when you're just smashing a boss, basically just ripping them a new one, when it probably would take you days of your life single player. I am going to be carrying on my playthrough of Dark Souls 3 solo at some point, and I plan on playing Sekiro very soon. Dark Souls 3 is an insanely good game, and it's easily one of the best games of this decade. Again, if you haven't played Dark Souls 3, give it a crack. But definitely start with Dark Souls 1, because that gets you used to the combat system. Going back to the games of 2020, I want to talk about The Last of Us 2. Last year, because of the release of Last of Us 2, I decided to do a playthrough of Last of Us 1, the entirety of which I streamed. It was almost like doing an MCU watch through when I was going to see Endgame, watching all the films and then going to see it. It was a far more superior experience because everything that happened before was fresh in my mind. It was pretty much the same with Last of Us 2. Playing through Last of Us 1 pretty much the week before Last of Us 2 came out was so satisfying, and seeing everything come to a head in Last of Us 2 was brilliant. I mean, what a perfect game. I can't deny there were points where I was frustrated when it was switching characters, but come the end of it, I understood every choice that was made in that game. And to be honest with you, if you're one of those people who is annoyed, and I've said this before, with the choices they made, and is butthurt because of issues brought up about the LGBTQ community, go fuck yourself. Last of Us 2 is such a good game, and it narrowly missed out on my top spot of last year. Now to move on to my personal Switch game of the year last year. It's actually hard to judge my Switch games because I got a Switch last year. I will talk about that at the end of the video, but I just want to talk about my personal release of last year, which is Paper Mario The Origami King. Instead of me talking about it again, I'm going to click back to my review. So yeah, I think that's everything you need to know. The mechanics are awesome, the story's really good, there's really good humour, the combat's really enjoyable, and everything they've put together works really well. It makes you want to keep coming back to the main hub world because you unlock more things that, you know, Toads go back and they've got open shops and battle training. You want to keep going back to see what's going on, and there's the world, you're kind of building up the town the whole time. Oh, see that Javier? I think he was more full of hope. I think he was, you know, only a few months into this lockdown madness. Anyway, next up, something I covered to death on my last video was Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So again, I'm not going to talk about it for ages. I didn't review it because obviously I played it way after the game came out. I did write about Alexios. I can't talk about the perfection this game hit for me, and I really don't know if I'll play another Assassin's Creed game that's that good. Alexios, the ancient Greek world, the mythical beasts you had to fight, the ship battles, the story, the characters, everything around you was so sublime. The combat was exciting, the changes they decided to make worked, and the enhancement from Origins was next level. Odyssey was a perfect combination of everything that had come before in the Assassin's Creed franchise, and quite honestly, it was my game of the year last year, but it didn't come out last year. I still am yet to do the DLC for Odyssey, and I probably will do it after my Valhalla playthrough. But I can't wait to see more of Alexios' story. What a sexy, awesome lad. This is my only proper JRPG on the list, even though I played quite a few, including Ni no Kuni and Final Fantasy X. I can't rate Final Fantasy X in my games of the year because I've been playing it since I was a kid. And Ni no Kuni, I've kind of stopped playing. So, Persona 5. Everyone knows it's a great game. Again, I've spoken about Persona 5 in video before. But bloody hell, this is the perfect JRPG. If you like Animal Capture and you like the kind of anime school storyline, I was unaware of what the Persona series was like, and I'd never played another game like it, or another game in this series. So maybe it was my fresh-eyed approach that made me enjoy it so much. I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed the real-world aspect, because usually that's a part of games I don't like. But I was fully invested in getting my school life to work, my relationships to work, because it affected your combat and the demon world so much. The stories they cover and the points they touch on are very dark, but they do it in such a way that it's still enjoyable. And you have the classic anime tropes in nearly every scene. This is my last Soulsborne on the list, even though my whole life's kind of about Soulsbornes at the moment, but Bloodborne. It's hard for me to decide if I prefer Bloodborne or Dark Souls 3. They're both quite different, but Bloodborne was such a good experience, and I'm so glad I finally played it last year. I would say if I hadn't played Dark Souls 1 and some of the other Soulsbornes before, I may have had a much harder time, but it is a very different combat style. I love the fact it wasn't just about blocking and using your armor, it was more about parrying and being quick. The way they captured and perfected the combat in this game is kind of unbelievable. I said to Luke the other day, these games are the most anime thing, but they're still looking like real life, because the way the bosses move, and even yourself, looks just so awesome. I was surprised I enjoyed it so much, because I tried Bloodborne twice before this year, and I just couldn't enjoy it. It was too hard. But once I got past the first boss last year, I couldn't stop playing. I did get to a point where I had to rope in Luke's help to get me through the end of the game, but that made for an even better experience because, again, it was an awesome co-op experience. The aesthetics, the world, the darkness of the whole game was absolutely sublime. I've got no doubt that me and Luke will be doing a full co-op playthrough soon for all of your viewing pleasure. Okay, lastly, I just want to finish on the Switch, and I'm actually going to talk about Animal Crossing. It's a huge surprise to me that I've enjoyed Animal Crossing as much as I have. I thought I was going to hate it. I thought it was a kiddie game for kiddie kids and girls. And I'm sorry, I know that's offensive. I'm a big dumb boy. But getting Animal Crossing for my fiance for Christmas kind of changed my opinion on it and her opinion on gaming. And I think that's why I like it so much. I'm not necessarily playing it that much. We only tend to play it together. I might log on every now and again, but as a whole relaxing experience, it's just perfect. There's no pressure, you can do what you want, you can choose to decorate your house, you can do the farming, and it's not just another boring life sim. There are plenty of things to do. Yes, it's not going to tax your brain, but sometimes it's good to play a game like that. It's kind of the perfect game to watch the telly to. I have recently gone back to Final Fantasy X again instead of playing Animal Crossing, but it's by far the best co-op experience we've ever had. Setting her up as the island leader and having me just being there to help with money and gardening has actually been really enjoyable. We've spent a lot of time over the Christmas break just drinking port and playing Animal Crossing, and I'll tell you what, it's one of the best gaming experiences I've had, just for the pure enjoyment we had together. I've never seen her play a game for more than half an hour, let alone for a 6-hour stretch. I can't believe Animal Crossing's in my top games of 2020. I honestly can't, but it's genuinely brilliant. That leads me nicely onto the Switch as a whole. Obviously I bought the Switch last year, and it'd be great for me to talk about all of the brilliant games that are on the Switch, such as Link's Awakening, Mario Kart, Mario Odyssey, not Breath of the Wild. But the novelty hasn't worn off for the Switch for me still, and I'm actually half concerned that even when I get a PS5, I'm still going to be going back to the Switch very often. I played it way more than I thought I was going to over the Christmas break and over the lockdown as a whole, and now there's such a wide range of games to play on the Switch, and there's always such great sales. I'm spoiled for choice. As a console, the concept works so fantastically well. I do tend to pick up and play. I love that I can take off the controllers and I can almost be more comfortable because I can have the controllers in separate hands than playing the PlayStation, which sounds ridiculous, but it's true. I know that I'm going to own the Switch for a long time to come, and there's not one day I've regretted it. I thought it was going to be another gimmick like the PSVR. Luckily it's not. Luckily it's become on par with the PS4. I play it for different reasons, and now I play it more at night, taking it to bed or whatever, or watching telly while playing it, but then I do tend to play my JRPGs dock because I want to enjoy them. It's such a clever console, and Nintendo really knocked it out of the park with this one. They are truly innovators in gaming and should be respected for a long time to come. Now there are loads of games I played last year which I've missed out of my list. Indie shout-outs I could give to things such as Peaky Blinders Mastermind. I played Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. That was rubbish. I really enjoyed FIFA 21. I really enjoyed Mortal Shell. I didn't enjoy Ghost of Tsushima. I could go on and on, but 2020 was great for gaming, and even better for respawning. So don't forget to keep watching all of our stuff, keep supporting us, keep liking, sharing, because we really appreciate it, and we love the interactivity. We're going to be here more active than ever in 2021, and we're all going to come out of this crappy crap 2020 together. So let's keep moving on. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.